what I feel is that I put across my case that the Conservatives need a bold new economic plan. We need to get growth going. People are struggling with the cost of living, and that's why we need to cut taxes, and it's why we need to take the bold post-Brexit reforms, do the different regulations so that we can get more investment right across our country, including into places like Stoke-on-Trent. That's what people want to see. They want to see bold action. I'm the Prime Minister that can deliver that.
Did you get annoyed with Rishi Sunak interrupting you?
I put my case across. I think the audience understood what I was saying, and that I am on the side of people who work hard, who do the right thing, and that is the kind of government I would run. The fact is that the current business as usual policy isn't working. It's not delivering for people across Britain. I'm an optimist about the future. I think we're a country with great potential, and I want us to do more. I want us to be better, and I can lead that change.
Yeah, and I do want to ask you about those plans, but about the nature of the contest. How have you found it? Because a lot of people have been commenting, Tim Montgomery, for one, saying it was an unedifying experience, that Rishi Sunak was interrupting you. You've got Nadine Dorries attacking Rishi Sunak on Twitter. How do you feel about the way some of your supporters have been behaving?
Well, I feel that this is a contest that is incredibly important. It's about the future direction of Britain. It's about, do we want to be bold? Do we want to lead in the world? Do we want to attract the investment into towns and cities across the country? That's the positive case I'm putting across.
Yeah, and do you appreciate Nadine Dorries' support?
Look, I have a fantastic range of supporters from all parts of the Conservative Party. And what is true about all of them is they've worked with me in government. They know I'm somebody who does what I say I'll do. I don't break my promises, and I get things done. And that is what Britain needs.
Was Rishi Sunak mansplaining?
Look, I'm not going to criticise the other candidate in this race. I'm putting forward a positive case about what we need to change in Britain to unleash the potential of people across this country. I want to support those who go out to work, the self-employed, those who run small businesses, those who get things done to drive our country forward. Those are the people I back.
Big strike on the railways tomorrow. If you were Prime Minister, what would you do about it?
I would legislate to make sure there are essential services on our railway. It is completely wrong that the travelling public are being held ransom by militant unions. We can't allow that to happen. We need to make sure our essential services run. As I've said, I'm on the side of people who work hard, who go into work, who want to run their businesses. We can't see them hampered by the activities of these militant unions.
Yeah, but the people who work hard as well, they work on the railways and for the train companies.
Well, those people are well rewarded for the work they do. And what is wrong is to try and hold the travelling public to ransom. I will take a tough line on trade union action that is not helping people get on in life.
Yeah, Mick Lynch, the boss at the RMT, has said that your attack on trade union and civil rights is the biggest since labour unions were legalised in 1871. He says that you are robbing working people of a key democratic right, and that if these proposals become law, there will be the biggest resistance mounted by the entire trade union movement, rivalling the general strike of 1926.
Well, I don't take any notice of these bellicose threats. I'm on the side of the travelling public who need to get into work to do their jobs. We're facing a global economic crisis. It's completely irresponsible of the trade unions to call these strikes at the time as we're seeking to get the economy going. And I will legislate to make sure that those core services are provided to the public.
And speaking about the economic crisis, the IMF have just released a world economic update, and they've said, and I'll just read you this paragraph, it says, targeted fiscal support can help cushion the impact on the most vulnerable, but with government budgets stretched by the pandemic and the need for an overall disinflationary macroeconomic policy stance, offsetting targeted support with higher taxes or lower government spending will ensure that fiscal policy does not make the job of monetary policy even harder. In other words, they're saying Rishi Sunak's plan to not to cut taxes and to keep spending down is the way forward.
Let's be clear, his plan is to raise taxes. He is planning to raise taxes on corporations, putting our taxes up to the same level as France. That is going to put off people who want to invest in Britain. And I know there are masses of opportunities right across the country. Less investment will mean fewer jobs, fewer opportunities, and lower wages and lower productivity in the future. So it's cutting off our nose to spite our face. The fact is that we promised in our manifesto not to raise national insurance. I thought it was wrong at the time to do so, and that is why I'd reverse that. I also want to put money into people's pockets. I could quote you the OECD, who said that our current policy is contractionary. And what that means is it will lead to a recession. A recession would be a disaster. It would be a disaster for people who are homeowners. It would be a disaster for people who go out to work. It would be a disaster for people who run businesses. That is why I want to keep taxes low, attract the investment, get the growth. That's the best way to pay down our debt.
But you agree that your strategy, backed by a minority of economists, that's what you're asking Conservative members to vote for compared to a majority of economists?
I don't base my policies on, the number of economists. The question is who is right. The fact is we are one of the few G7 countries that are putting up taxes. Countries like the United States, Canada, Japan have higher levels of debt than us. They're not putting up taxes because they understand that now is the time we need to get the economic growth into our economy to avoid a recession and to make sure that we're attracting business investment and those jobs and growth for the future. I'm sick of this declinist talk, this idea that Britain can't succeed, that we can't compete. We absolutely can, but we need to be open for business at this vital time.